what if I told you that the hot iron you use to make your clothes look absolutely perfect is in reality like melting your most expensive garments molecule by molecule?
Oh, it really is. It's a complete nightmare for fabrics.
Right. I mean, picture this. You've got a massive event tonight. Maybe it's a wedding, a gala, or I don't know, a high stakes business meeting. You've spent weeks putting together the absolute perfect look.
Yeah, you've planned every detail.
Exactly. And you walk over to your closet or your suitcase, you pull out your most luxurious outfit, and your heart just sinks because it is hopelessly covered in wrinkles.
We have all been there. It is the worst feeling.
It really is. Your immediate instinct is probably to grab that heavy metal iron and just press those wrinkles into submission. But doing so might actually permanently destroy the very fabric you're trying to save.
Yeah, it's a moment of sheer panic when you see those wrinkles. But that instinct to reach for the iron, that is where the real disaster begins. And what's fascinating here is that we almost always view wrinkle removal as a purely aesthetic chore.
Right, like we just want it to look smooth.
Exactly. We just want the clothing to look flat so we can get out the door. But when you are dealing with high-end fabrics, the method you choose to remove those creases physically alters the structural integrity of the garment on a microscopic level.
Wait, on a microscopic
Yeah.
level.
It's not just about looking presentable. It is fundamentally an exercise in chemistry and physics.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because today's deep dive is entirely about what happens in that exact moment of panic and how your next decision could, well, either preserve your wardrobe or completely ruin it.
It really is a make-or-break choice.
It is. And we're pulling insights from a highly detailed guide by Apparelizer on professional garment care, and we're blending that with the overarching philosophy from a video by Sydney Serena about building a dream wardrobe.
Which is such a great pairing, by the way.
Oh, totally. Because when you think about it, what is the point of investing time, money, and like emotional energy into curating this dream wardrobe if you don't even know how to protect it?
All right. It's like buying a sports car and never changing the oil.
Exactly. So today we are exploring why professional steaming isn't just some, fancy luxury add-on or an afterthought. It is an absolute necessity for garment preservation.
Absolutely.
We want to give you, the listener, the exact blueprint for avoiding a catastrophic wardrobe failure, whether you're prepping for a photo shoot or just trying to look sharp after getting off a plane.
And, Sydney Serena's approach to building a wardrobe is incredibly relevant here. She really emphasizes this shift from mindless consumption to intentional curation.
Right, hunting for those perfect pieces.
Yes, you are hunting for those high-quality investment pieces like the tailored wool blazer, the perfect silk slip dress, or that really nice cashmere sweater.
The stuff you plan to keep for years.
Exactly. These aren't just clothes, they are long-term assets. And yet, the irony is that people will spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on these investment pieces, only to treat them with a tool that physically degrades them.
Which brings us to the physics of fabric care. Because to really understand why steaming is so critical, we have to look at the traditional alternative. We have to look at ironing.
The enemy of luxury fabrics.
Right. But I want to pose a question here because I think it's the immediate point of friction for anyone listening.
Okay, let's hear it.
Is traditional ironing really that dangerous for formal wear and luxury fabrics? Or are we just being overly precious? I mean, an iron is essentially just a hot piece of metal. It's like a frying pan for your clothes, right?
Well, the frying pan analogy is exactly why ironing is so dangerous.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Think about it. Would you press a hot frying pan directly onto delicate silk? Hotels provide irons for the same reason fast food chains provide drive thrusts. It's about cheap, immediate convenience, not long-term health.
That makes a lot of sense. They don't care if my suit lasts 10 years.
Exactly. The hotel doesn't care about the lifespan of your suit. They just want to give you a quick fix for your suitcase wrinkles.
Mhm.
But let's look at the actual mechanics of an iron. You are applying extreme direct heat coupled with the heavy physical pressure of your own body weight pushing down on a metal plate. For luxury fabrics, that combination is devastating. It can literally scorch sensitive materials.
I've definitely felt that destruction firsthand, actually. I had this gorgeous navy blue wool suit jacket a few years ago.
Oh no, I can see where this is going.
Yeah. I thought I could just, quickly touch up the lapel before dinner, so I pressed an iron flat against it, and when I lifted it up, the fabric didn't look navy anymore.
It had that shine, didn't it?
Yes, it had this cheap, glossy sheen to it that caught the light in the worst way possible. I thought maybe I had stained it with, like, dirty water from the iron or something.
People often mistake that shine for a stain or some kind of residue,
Mm.
but it's actually much worse. It's structural damage.
Wait, structural damage from one pass of the iron?
Yes.
Yeah.
That glossy sheen is the result of the iron literally melting and fusing the microfibers of the fabric. Wool, for example, has microscopic scales on its fibers. When you apply the crushing weight of an iron in high heat, you flatten those scales permanently.
So you're basically crushing the fabric's natural texture.
Exactly. And if the garment has any synthetic blends, like a polyester lining, you are quite literally melting the plastic in the weave into a hard reflective surface. You polish your suit into a mirror, and you can never undo that.
Wow, it completely ruined the elegance of the jacket, just looked bruised and cheap. And the Apparelizer source provides a pretty extensive hit list of fabrics that are incredibly vulnerable to this kind of direct heat.
Oh yeah, the list is long.
They specifically warn against using an iron on silk, satin, velvet, chiffon, lace, wool, cashmere, and as you mentioned, those polyester blends.
Velvet is perhaps the most tragic victim of the iron, I think,
Really? Why velvet specifically?
because velvet derives its entire character from its pile. You know, the thousands of tiny raised threads that stand up to catch the light and create that really soft texture.
Right, that plush feeling.
Yeah, so if you take a hot, heavy iron to a velvet dress or a blazer, you crush that pile flat against the base fabric. You completely destroy the architecture of the garment.
Oh, that makes sense. It just squashes it.
It does, and it will never stand back up. The drape, the texture, the silhouette, they're all completely distorted.
So, if the crushing weight and searing heat of an iron are the villains destroying the architecture of our dream wardrobes, I guess that brings us to the hero, high-temperature steam.
The savior of formal wear.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting, because steam functions in a fundamentally different way, right? It has no direct contact with the fabric.
None at all. It's totally touchless.
But I want to make sure I understand the actual science here. How does blasting a shirt with hot mist get rid of a wrinkle if you aren't physically pressing the fabric flat? Like, how does it remove stuff like smoke smells without running the garment through a washing machine?
Well, to understand that, we need to think about what a wrinkle actually is. In natural fibers like cotton, silk, or wool, the molecules are held together by hydrogen bonds. When those fibers get warm or slightly damp, say from you sitting in an office chair or the clothes being crushed in a humid suitcase, those hydrogen bonds break.
Gotcha. So the structure kind of lets go.
Right. And then when the fabric cools down in that crumpled state, the bonds reform, locking the wrinkle into place.
So the fabric is essentially freezing itself into that messy shape.
Precisely. Now, ironing tries to fix this by brutally forcing the bonds to break through extreme heat and physical pressure, basically flattening them back out by force.
Which we know is terrible for the fibers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Steaming, on the other hand, is about persuasion rather than force. When you apply high-temperature steam, you are introducing gentle heat and moisture that penetrates deep into the fiber matrix.
And that moisture breaks the hydrogen bonds again.
Yes, it hydrates the fibers, causing them to swell and relax organically.
So they just kind of let go of the wrinkle naturally.
Think of the fabric fibers like human muscles. An iron is like a brutal, bone-crunching, deep tissue massage that might get a knot out, sure, but it leaves your skin heavily bruised and traumatized.
That sounds awful.
It is. But steam is like sitting in a sauna or taking a hot shower. It gently warms the muscle tissue, hydrates it, and allows it to release its own tension naturally, dropping back into its original intended state.
Oh, I love that analogy. That makes total sense. Instead of crushing a wrinkle flat, you're giving the fabric the environment it needs to let go of the wrinkle on its own.
Exactly. It's doing the work for you.
And because you are relaxing the fabric instead of traumatizing it, you are preserving the original texture and color vibrancy, right?
Yes, that's one of the core benefits. You maintain the material's softness and its original drape.
Which connects perfectly back to Sydney Serena's focus on the way clothes make you feel. A garment that has been properly steamed doesn't just look neat, it drapes perfectly.
It completely changes the fit.
Right. It falls over your shoulders exactly the way the designer intended, which immediately makes the piece look more expensive and refined.
The silhouette is everything. If you are wearing a silk slip dress that is stiff with storage creases, it won't contour to your body. It will look rigid and awkward.
It just kind of hangs there like a cardboard box.
Yes. But when those fibers are relaxed by steam, the material regains its fluidity. That fluidity translates directly to increased confidence for the wearer. You are no longer fighting your clothes are working for you.
But the physical appearance of the garment isn't the only thing the steam is fixing. The guide brings up an aspect of steaming that genuinely feels like a magic trick to me. Odor elimination.
Oh, this is one of my favorite parts.
Right. The text specifically highlights that professional steaming can remove closet odors, smoke smells, mild perspiration, and travel-related odors, all without ever running the garment through a washing machine.
It sounds impossible, but it works.
My theory has always been that the steam is just kind of washing the air inside the shirt, like replacing bad air with clean water vapor. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, you're touching on something crucial there regarding the exchange of particles.
Yeah.
But it's a bit more dynamic than just washing the air.
Okay, explain it to me.
Odors aren't just invisible smells. They are actual, physical, microscopic particles. Volatile organic compounds that get trapped inside the weave of your clothing. Like if you stand near a bonfire, tiny particles of smoke lodge themselves right into the fibers of your sweater.
So how does hot water vapor force those solid particles out?
This is where the physics of expansion comes in. When the high-temperature steam hits the fabric, two things happen. First, the heat causes those trapped solid odor particles to volatilize, meaning they literally turn into a gas.
Okay, so they vaporize.
Exactly. Second, because the steam is causing the actual fibers of the garment to swell and open up, it creates an exit route. The steam moves completely through the garment, acting as a carrier wave that lifts those now gaseous odor molecules and pulls them right out of the fabric into the surrounding air.
That is incredible. It's basically opening the pores of the fabric and flushing out the contaminants.
That is a perfect way to describe it.
And I imagine this is a massive deal for the lifespan of luxury clothes, because the alternative for getting rid of those smells is either a standard washing machine, which would just shred delicate formal wear, or dry cleaning.
Right, and dry cleaning is a fantastic resource, but it should be used sparingly.
Really? I always thought dry cleaning was the safest option.
It's good, but despite the name, dry cleaning involves soaking the garments in liquid chemical solvents to dissolve stains.
Oh, so it's not actually dry.
No, not at all.
Hmm.
And over time, those